Violet here, second generation homeschooling mom of 3. I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and an infant. Today I wanted to share with you creative form drawing for children. So let's get into it. So creative form drawing is a Waldorf thing. I'm not really into the Waldorf philosophy at all, but it's a series of exercises that you do first as full body exercises, and then you do on paper large and then small. You also draw them in the air. We'll go through it. This book is very clear. So I'm really not into the Waldorf philosophy at all, but I thought that these exercises would be really good kind of beginning coordination type things, especially for my 5-year-old son to do. So this goes through different teaching methods, and it specifically addresses homeschooling, which I find really nice. Not a lot of books do. And you're supposed to go through these very slowly. These beginning exercises are supposed to develop hand-eye coordination, dexterity, preparation for handwriting skills, observation skills, the ability to compare, contrasting forms, spatial orientation, and balance. And then some other art things. So this is not a book that your child will sit down and do. This is a book that you will read and then prepare lessons from. So these are the first 2 forms. And so you start out by having the child trace them with their body. So you draw them on the ground outside and you have them walk in these shapes. Then you have them draw them in the air, either they suggest with their noses. You also could use their arms, but they're drawing them on a slightly smaller scale, but still with their body. And you're starting to add patterns. Then eventually you turn the curve, you do more patterns, and now you can start to do them either on a chalkboard or on a single sheet of paper, but quite large. They want you to do them quite large at first. And then eventually you work down to getting them smaller and smaller as the child gets older, as they get a little bit more dexterous. It kind of just depends on the kid, but there are instructions for how you scale all of that. And then the same exercise with straight lines, making sequences, drawing them in different ways, curves, different ways to do curves. And now we're starting to combine straight lines and curves. Now we're starting to get into doing different colors. And again, this is not something that you wouldn't show the child this book. You would prepare your lesson and then demonstrate it for the child. Different kinds of lines, which again you're using the same motions that you use to make the straight lines and the curves, but now you're connecting them all together. Circles, you can see here they're demonstrating how to do different circles with different body parts before you start drawing the circles in different ways. Some forms that they can make. This obviously doesn't have, as you can see, it doesn't really have lesson breaks. So you have to, as the teacher, have to decide how much you want to accomplish at a time and how far you want to go with each lesson. So this book is for kids who are 6 to 10 years old. And I definitely would probably just do the first few lessons and do them different ways, several different times, and use this over the course of several years. And you can see by the end, they can draw quite complicated forms. So that's that book. There is a second one, Workbook 2, by the same author. There are other people who have the Waldorf form drawing books. I just really like the way that this was set out or laid out with the colors and the instructions for the teacher. I thought that this would be the easiest for me to teach. So we did a little bit of the very first lesson with the line and curve, walking them out with our bodies before we ended up getting, I thought that was enough for this summer. We didn't move on to the next few lessons, but we'll keep progressing through this slowly. I think it's been really good for my kids for hand-eye coordination, spatial awareness. It helps them cross the midline of their body when they're doing these big motions. I always have them do them with their hands as well. Especially the C, you're going kind of all around. So we've really enjoyed doing the little bit of this that we've done. So I hope you found this helpful. I will put a link to it in the description box below. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you click on an Amazon link and make a purchase, I do receive a small commission. Thank you for watching.